Hello guys, this tutorial is going to be pretty simple. I just want to explain how to replace the battery on the CyberPower 1500VA UPS uninterrupted power supply. I purchased this device a long time ago to protect my very expensive computer. And now you may be asking yourself a question. Wouldn't a cheaper UPS be able to answer to your needs? And the answer is no. A cheaper UPS, such as the APC Back-UPS 1500VA, would not be able to handle my computer. I have a 1200 watts power supply on my computer, and we are not even talking about the two monitors. I love this PSU. It is a wonderful device, and it's been working for me for many years without a hitch. It's been a trooper, but now, as with everything in life, time has passed and the batteries died. So instead of buying a new device, which would cost a lot of money, we just need to replace the batteries. And the batteries are really not expensive. You can buy a pair of batteries on Amazon for $46.29, which in my opinion is a great bargain. So when it came time for me to replace my batteries, I realized that the process was a little tricky, so I decided to make this video. By the way, you can find the link for the batteries in the description. This is obviously a pretty heavy device because it has two lead acid batteries inside. So you pick it up, turn it upside down, and there is one screw here that you have to remove, a Phillips head screw. And that's the only screw. Now put this little screw in a safe place where you're not going to lose it. Now you can push the front face of the case downwards, and it will cause the front panel to be released. Inside we have those two plastic handles, but first we need to disconnect the two cables. Each cable is pretty hard to pull out, but nothing that a little bit of elbow grease wouldn't take care of. Now it's time to pull out the batteries, and you just need to grab on these two plastic handles here. The batteries should come out pretty easily. Here they are. On the side of the battery, I found the web address for the website of the manufacturer. I actually went to the website of the manufacturer of those batteries. The website is like it's a Chinese company website, and I tried to find the battery, but it was so poorly organized, I was not able to find anything there. So then I went to Amazon and found the replacement batteries. Here are the batteries that I bought, and outside from the fact that they are not connected together, they have pretty much the same dimensions and they should work just fine. So in order for us to use our two separate batteries as replacement for the two combined batteries that we found inside of our UPS, we're going to have to scavenge the tape and the extra connectors from the original battery pack. This tape is not really well glued and it just comes off very easily. So now let's take a look inside in between those batteries and see how they are connected. As I expected, it looks like they are connected in series. I think that the best strategy here is to unplug only one battery. Unplug first the negative and then the positive cable. And then let's remove the negative connector here and put the new battery side by side. And we begin to connect the cables into the new battery so that we don't get confused with the connections. So what we need here is to remove this gray cable from the red connector. And plug it into the new battery in the corresponding location. Each connector comes with this protective plastic cover. I don't want to remove all those covers at once because I want to avoid any risk of a short circuit here. Here we need to connect the gray cable to the black terminal. And we need to connect, well, first we need to remove the protection. And we need to connect the red cable to the positive terminal. Now we need to put these two batteries on top of each other and perfectly aligned. Whoa, it looks like the black cable got disconnected from the negative terminal. Let's plug it back together. Now it's time to stick the tape back around the two batteries. This is not a very critical procedure because if you make any mistake, you can always remove the tape and put it back again. Just make sure that both batteries are properly aligned, otherwise they would not fit back into their slot. Removing the air bubbles underneath the tape is not really difficult. It's actually pretty easy. That's it. I think I'm done with this part. Now it's time to put the batteries back inside of the case. And this stuff is pretty heavy and it's not going to be easy to do this with a single hand, but I'll try to manage while holding the two cables on top. Maybe I should have used like a scotch tape to stick the two cables on top of the case. But I managed to do it. Now push the batteries all the way in. Now it's time to reconnect the battery to the case. And the connections here are pretty obvious. Red to red and black to black. That's funny. All this beeping is because the batteries were fully charged and the UPS turned on. We need to turn it off before we can finish with our procedure here. Now we need to push the cables to the side so that we can put the front of the case back into place. But it shouldn't be that difficult. Just push it. Oh, yeah, that came pretty easily. Now there is only one thing left. To put this screw back, put this screw back to the screw hole in the bottom. It's a single screw, shouldn't take long. Yeah, looks like I'm done.